So good morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn this morning. My name is Stephen Reese, of course, and we are here until 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday morning. We got Seth Weil aboard on with us a little bit later on this morning. But in the meantime, we got a few things to get through in the news. And I tell you what, boy, I saw a video with the father of Mercedes Lane yesterday. And we had to figure out something, you know. We had to figure out what's going on in this place, boy, with society. You know what I mean? We cannot. I sit down here yesterday and I was trying to show yesterday and I say, we were talking about a host of things, right? Several different topics yesterday. And while we were talking about those topics, you know, I felt that the attention that was needed to that particular situation, we cannot bypass that. And it was almost like it was business as usual. You know what I mean? And it cannot be business as usual. And the autopsy came out. I'll get to that in the headlines. But it can't be business as usual. Because this thing going on for too long, man. We cannot keep waking up on mornings and children are the victims of crime. Children. Right? And in this instance and many others, even if you go back to Kiana James, Amy Amamatudo, Sean Luke, Akil Chambers, if you go back, right, little Angelo Tobias in Tobago just recently as well, if you go back to these things, right, this isn't a crime problem per se, you know. It isn't a policing problem, it's a society problem. We have a society problem, a societal problem. That's what we have. They say the children are the future. Well, then they can't be the future if we're not allowing them to have a future. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to fix that, you know. We got to fix that. And I don't know where we're going to start fixing that. And as I get into the headlines this morning, well, let's get into the headlines one time. We ain't sticking, because we'll come back and take some calls in just a little bit. But I see that the SOE alarm has been rung, and trade unions and the Tobago Association is warning the government against extending the emergency powers for another 3 months, but other players support the move. All right? Now, just to give you a little insight, the National Trade Union Center is calling on the government to clearly articulate why there is a need to extend the state of emergency, raising an alarm over why the measure needs to be continued. Since July last year, the country has been under states of emergency, with only a short break in between the last one and the current one, which is set to end on June 17th. Government intends to head to Parliament tomorrow to debate the extension on Wednesday, as the current SOE ends on June 17th. If approved, it would be extended until September. Now, in the media release yesterday, however, NATOC General Secretary Michael Anisette questioned the need for an extension, adding the umbrella union body is also calling on civil society to scrutinize the reasons being offered and to voice their concerns over the extension. With 15 no-protest zones now in effect, which include government sites such as the Finance Ministry, the Prime Minister's Office, and Parliament, and he said, question how extending the SOE may impact workers' rights to protest. All right? And let's see. However, former National Security Minister and former top cop Gary Griffith says, while he supports the extension, the mere fact that it is being considered as a testament that the leadership of the law enforcement agencies have failed to capitalize on the ongoing SOE. In a media release, Griffith said, quote, "Let me be clear, I agree with extending the SOE only because of the blatant failure and inability of those who lead law enforcement to control crime, despite the authority and powers already granted to them under the Constitution." Pointing fingers at the leadership of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Griffith said under him there were increased policies and police units, but now the greatest policy coming out of the hierarchy of the TTPS was one to protect diplomats. He was referring to the Diplomatic Security Unit, which was announced hours before protesters were scheduled to demonstrate outside the Forensic Science Center, Federation Park, St. James. All right? And the Shogunas Chamber of Industry and Commerce, President Baldat Maraj, also welcomes the extension, but said he had one added feature he would like to see. He said, quote, "With this extension, we need to get surgical. I'm calling for a strict curfew on major crime hotspots, if possible. Don't choke the law-abiding business community. Put the curfew exactly where the trouble is and hit those hotspots hard." All right, his support for the SOE was echoed by his counterpart, Kiran Singh, president of the Greater San Fernando Area Chamber of Commerce. All right, and Singh, like Annie said the rationale to extend the SOE must be clearly articulated. All right, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let me get the burnt body. A burnt body was found inside a vehicle in Wallafield. Police are probing the murder of a man whose burnt body was discovered inside a vehicle along Munan Road in Wallafield over the weekend. And the body was found near Block 5, Munan Road. Investigators believe the deceased is Clint Gomez, also known by the alias Milky, although official confirmation is expected pending further inquiries. In other news, well, you don't have this headline because I'm now seeing it here. Government moves to boost pensions for protective services in acting positions. So the government is proposing changes to pension rules that would allow police, prison, and fire officers who spent extended periods acting in higher positions to retire with benefits based on their acting salaries rather than their substantive appointments. All right? So government is looking at that. We have Warner, Jack Warner that is. Jack Warner said, "A country cannot thrive under SOEs indefinitely." All right? Former National Security Minister Dr. Jack Warner is warning that while an SOE may help a country survive periods of crisis, societies cannot thrive indefinitely under emergency rule. Warner made the comment yesterday in a lengthy commentary titled "When Calypsonians Become Prophets," as he reflected on Trinidad and Tobago's social and economic challenges and questioned the long-term implications of governing through extraordinary measures. And his comments come as the government is expected to return to Parliament tomorrow, seeking approval to extend the current state of emergency by a further 3 months. All right? What else do we have? Hotel and tourism boss warns Tobago MPs about supporting SOE extension. All right? The Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association President Reginald McLean is warning the Tobago MPs about voting in favor of an extension to the ongoing SOE. The government, of course, will go there tomorrow and blah, blah, blah. All right, yeah. And wait, now Robbie Greenidge died? Yeah, boy. What trouble is this boy? 76 years old, you know? Robert Greenidge, the internationally acclaimed steel pan virtuoso, arranger and composer, whose artistry helped elevate Trinidad and Tobago's national instrument to global recognition, died, it looks like yesterday. When was this article written? 15 hours ago, yeah. He died yesterday after a prolonged illness. He was 76 years old. Yeah. Condolences going out to the Greenwich family, of course, on the passing of Robbie Greenwich. Significant contribution to the national instrument, right? Let's see. Let's see what else we have. Oh, the autopsy. Get the autopsy. Autopsy confirms Mercedes was beaten to death. Even with the arrest of a suspect in the brutal murder of his daughter, the grieving father of 12-year-old Mercedes Lane says nothing will ease the pain or erase the violent manner in which she lost her life. As tears rolled down his cheeks, Ronald Cabrera said an autopsy at the Forensic Science Center yesterday confirmed the cause of death as multiple blunt force injuries, confirming his suspicion that she had been beaten to death. And Cabrera said, although a 26-year-old suspect is in police custody, the reality is that his daughter is dead. Questioning how a person could commit such a heinous act against a petite, shy, and innocent child, the father said he was trying his best to keep his emotions under control. And the father of 6 said that relatives, friends, and the community are trying to come to terms with her death. He also called on the authorities to put programs in place to help young people stay on the right track, saying this could help prevent them from becoming individuals who commit such heinous acts. And while the community is a close-knit and peaceful one, villager Ray Semper urged parents and guardians not to take chances with their children, especially when using public transport. We'll get to that. We'll come back to that. We're 15 minutes past the hour, 6 o'clock. And a couple things to talk about when we return. The first thing we're going to deal with is your thoughts on this possible extension of a state of emergency. Of course, we would like to hear what the population has to say. And after that, we will deal with the autopsy and Mercedes Lane. And condolences, of course, going out to her family. And I really, really don't know. And I really have to ask the same question that the father is asking. It's the same question I'm asking about Angelo Tobias in Tobago. How somebody could watch a child and kill a child, boy. That's where we are. You know what I mean? And let me hold my thoughts. I'm going to hold my thoughts. Because if I express myself here this morning, I feel I go trip off. Yeah. I feel so. So let me leave it alone. In the meantime, a couple pieces of information for you, of course. And we will start with the Trinidad and Tobago College of Therapeutic Massage and Beauty Culture, of course. And so if you're looking for that career in massage therapy or cosmetology, well, you could call the Trinidad and Tobago College of Therapeutic Massage and Beauty Culture Limited today. They are enrolling for September 2026. And when you enroll, you're going to learn from experts who have 40 years of experience in the field as you train for a job in the fastest growing industry in the world. And they are registered with the Ministry of Education. They are also registered with the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago for a gate-funded massage diploma. And they are also registered with the National Training Agency to teach a cosmetology level 2 CVQ. So give them a call today on 658-3907 or WhatsApp them on 496-1111. You can also visit their website, www.ttcollegeofmassage.com. All right, so make sure to check them out and get yourself registered today if you're interested in starting a career in that field. Also, I want to remind you that Keolic, they have a wide range of products, all backed by science, over 900 scientific research and clinical trials, all made from the aged garlic extract. And you have the cleanse and digestion, the blood pressure health, the cholesterol health, the total heart health, the circulation health, the Keo Green Powder drink mix, as well as the probiotics. So you can pick up any one of these products at a pharmacy or health store across the country. And for more information, you can WhatsApp 728-0338. That is 728-0338. All right? With that, we're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, we will get into that discussion. To SOE or not to SOE? That is the question. We'll be back.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supply of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78, Bamboo Settlement number 2, Valsain, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor, and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
Welcome to Antigua Mass. Them people have no behavior, and they have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua Mass. Clear out how you know it's danger, how you know it's danger. When it comes to mass, it was deadly.
Eden Heights Clinic is one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. They offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments, including prolozone therapy, live blood analysis, halotherapy, limb bagging, nutritional programs, colon hydrotherapy, weight loss programs, oxygen baths, and more. Their professional doctors, Drs. Carlos Navarro, Bronwyn Navarro, and Brian Thompson, provide consultation services in areas of diabetes detox programs, arthritis, sports injuries, heart disease, high blood pressure, persons suffering with knee, shoulder, and back pain. At Eden Heights Clinic, they understand that your health is your wealth. Get in touch with them to determine which service is the right choice for you. Visit them at any one of their 3 locations at 13 Montague Avenue, Twin City, at 41 Ramsaran Street, Chaguanas, or give them a call at 640-8985 or 613-7571, or send them a WhatsApp to 493-9196. Eden Heights Clinic is your right choice.
Feeling distance in your relationship or sensing someone interfering between you and your partner? Connect with Pandit Anirudh, known for powerful and result-oriented love solutions. His effective love spells have helped many reunite with lost partners. If you face family conflict, marriage issues, negativity, or financial stress, his strong mantras bring quick relief. Know what lies ahead in your love life and future through powerful astrology readings. Many lives have changed. Now it's your turn. Contact +1 868 278 0399.
Cars, sports, careers, food. We men always talk about these things, but not about our health. Did you know that testosterone is responsible for muscle mass, strength, deep voice, healthy hair growth, and a sex drive? With low testosterone, we may not achieve our potential. The good news is that Jameson Power for Men is an excellent testosterone support. Take Jameson Power for Men and perform to your max. Jameson, here for your health.
Every day at the castle, long before we open our doors, our work begins. Our famous seasonings are mixed in advance. We select our fresh chicken parts and prep our delicious sides. Then we fire up the fryers and rotisserie oven. Everything is made with tasty local herbs, spices, and the same long-loved recipe since 1968. So, when you come in, remember that we uphold our culture and our taste just for you. We are your Royal Castle.
You will not deny that this is the maddest place on earth. And we go shout from the top of the mountain. This is the greatest place, our great escape. My favorite space, the maddest place on earth. Would you believe me when I tell you? Better you come and take a sample. A little bit is still a lot to handle, but you can find no other example. We really have a different kind of style. The elders teach it to me as a child, and this is how we know that we are alive. Vincy people never need to go to start a vibe. It's Vincy time, June and July. You need to fly down to the maddest place on earth. Can't tell no lie.
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerator parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
Astrologer Mohit Ji is known for providing insightful astrology guidance for complex life situations, dealing with love confusion, delayed marriage, partner distancing, or serious relationship breakdowns. His approach focuses on understanding the root cause and guiding you toward the right path. If financial instability or business setbacks are affecting you, his spiritual remedies may support positive change. With psychic reading, horoscope analysis, and palm insights, he offers practical clarity. His services also include protection from negative energies and removal of bad luck. Call at +1 868 334 2796.
All right, so we're back, and we want to get straight to it. So we are 26 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock, and the extension to the state of emergency, of course, it's in the news. It's being discussed in the business community, I would imagine, across different sectors of Trinidad and Tobago, whether the state of emergency makes sense, whether the government can justify a 3-month extension. You could put up the one, the SOE alarm. You have the trade unions, the Tobago Association, warning the government against extending the emergency powers for another 3 months, but you have other players supporting the move. So I asked the question yesterday, how do we measure this? Some people will say, well, the way that the state of emergencies have been run, without a curfew or anything like that, or much restrictions, it is just the criminal elements that would feel the pinch of it and not the law-abiding citizens, because people have been able to move around freely. the issue of these 15 protest zones, to me, that's a non-issue for me. That's a non-issue for me. You had the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, you could protest. Just these 15 zones, and I don't know, this seems to be a big problem for some people. For what reason for what reason you would want to go and protest? I don't even know, has there ever been protests in front of the office of the Prime Minister? I think Kublal Singh and them do a little protest there, but that was like I can't remember. In front of the office of the Prime Minister, or the office of the President. I think they've had protests in front of those places before, But under the SOE, of course, the police came and they laid out these 15 no protest zones, which seem to be the concerns of the unions, because according to Anisette, you wouldn't be able to protest. Right? I don't know what they would want to protest for. Shooter get what they want. They get their money. PSC negotiations, well, they just have the cash versus non-cash that they're trying to work out. The Prime Minister has already gone to the Parliament to request $2.93 billion to clear those bills. So I guess you have a lot of unions wage negotiations have been settled, right? And some for more than that 4%, that draconian 4% that was being put before them without any negotiation. They say, whole 4%, right? So a lot of them have gotten their negotiations done and dusted with. The RHAs, whomever is in charge of the majority of nurses under the RHA, I don't know which union is that, because I'm hearing it is not the TT, the Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nurses Association. But anyway, that seems to be the concern, the protest issue. My thing is, it has to be further than that, right? That can't be the primary reason that we want to not extend the state of emergency. The primary reason is crime, right? So when you look at the statistics and the numbers, like I said yesterday, it's how you measure this. So 599, 577, 625. That was 22, 23, 24. And then in 25, under the state of emergency, we're down to 300 and something. And now we are at less murders than we were last year at this particular point in time. However, some people may have expected more gains than what we have currently seen. I myself find that while we have extended the state of emergency, I just not feeling like the police are making the gains that they ought to make under these sort of powers. So I'm just not feeling it, right? Because when you pick up the paper and you read the paper and you see things happening, you're saying, but wait, we're under a state of emergency, or what is really going on? Then you have the global or the international aspect of it that you have to think about. However, we see people investing in Trinidad and Tobago despite the fact that we've been under a state of emergency for a while now. Investments are coming in from international organizations, and people want to do business in Trinidad and Tobago. We are open for business. So the current state of affairs with the SOE doesn't seem to be interfering with that. So I don't know what the population thinks. We see what some of the unions and the Tobago Association thinks. We see some of the chambers supporting the move to extend it. So 327-7400, let's get the population's take on it now. Because at the end of the day, it is the population of Trinidad and Tobago that, for the most part, is affected by this. But not affected by the SOE, but affected by crime. Hello, good morning. Just now. We'll go on there. But this is connect, right, yeah. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, man.
What we have here, we have some gains right now as far as the reduction in crime is concerned. But
Right.
what we're not seeing is the dragnet as it relates to murders and home invasions. We're not seeing that happening. But there's a clear and visible reduction in that. The trade unions are only focusing on protests and shutting down the country and not negotiations. They want to negotiate. They want to say they want this and then get it shut down the country. The no protest zone is to keep the country in a peaceful place. The two people in tourism, there is no advisory that says don't come to Trinidad anymore. And the tourism people, there's nothing that's stopping tourists from coming to Trinidad. They are not promoting anything or doing anything that they're supposed to do to better their status. There are countries all over the world, socialist countries, communist countries, we've had a state of emergency is like that exists all the time, and yet they are more productive, and the people are different along the line. In terms of the children that are getting killed, it is poor parenting. People can say what they want. It is poor parenting. You have to look out for your girl children and your children in general as to where they are and how they get to and from home. You cannot leave that to open to anybody else, because crime is about opportunity, mood, attitude, and culture. And when you get accustomed to doing something, it happens. You can go to the beach as a man, look at all of these young ladies, look at the hips, and feel in a particular mood, and then the mood changes. You could be at home with your madam, you lie down on a bed, and you're not in the mood. Things happen that way. But when people are in that particular thought, it's about culturing. And we have a responsibility as parents, and also we talk about the society and the village. Yes, that is part of it, but as a parent, that is your role. And we need to come down hard and fast on parents to protect the girl children and the little children in general, and put things in place as they have in the first world countries. I'm going to be on my time again. We go talk next day.
All right, no problem. No problem. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Morning, Stefan.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Morning, Stefan. Yes, I will continue from where this gentleman left. Rules and regulation. Yes, rules and regulation. And let us run this country. This country cannot run with this SOE. This country have to run with proper management from right up to right underneath. Rules and regulation, you pay for your deeds. Now, you have to do that. But first, I'm still coming back to the police service. Police is one have to do that. Police, army, and Coast Guard. They run this controlling the country. And if those places cannot function, we cannot function. I would like for them to fix the police service. When they fix the police service properly, then we're going to say we're doing something. But other than that, don't depend on SOE. That can't solve the problem. We need rules and regulations. All
right. 327-7400, going again. Hello, good morning. What are your thoughts?
Good morning. Stefan, I think we as a people should be ashamed of ourselves. For our government to have to be extending an SOE because we can't come to the realization that we're killing out one another, that we can't live in peace, a little 2x4 country. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
That's a very interesting thing. Hello?
Excuse me?
I said that's a very interesting statement you just made there.
Of course.
One that I didn't look at it from that angle, but go ahead, yeah.
You know, the government doing what they think they could do to help this thing is we as a people have to change our mindset. What have us with so much hate? Where did some of the hate coming from?
Okay. All right.
You know.
Point taken. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't look at it like that, you know. She's right. Hello, good morning. She has an excellent point there.
Morning.
Yeah, morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, SOE or no SOE. We have to be responsible for our own safety, you know, because you can't really depend on government and police. Because when you're in your house, government and police are outside your gate to help protect you, you know. And then a lot of people on self-imposed curfew. So, because I know at a certain time in the evening, me will be outside after dark if I don't need to be outside. Case in point, my place fence, I get in my front yard, a night playing with the dog. I can't slow down high up for my me stop. I see the point reverse gear. I went inside one time. I don't know who it is, and I don't want to find out who it is.
Right.
And with respect to the killing of the child, right? Do you remember when, after Andrea Barrett got killed, the last government talked about putting lights up in that area? They talk about if you have to go and get a number plate for your car, you have to go with a certified copy. Nothing come out of that. And things will just keep happening over and over until this matter died down, until something has happened to get people attention again.
I want to call Philip, because Philip and I were part of that candlelight movement, And Philip is in government now. He was in government then, but he's in government now. So I want to find out
And I heard somebody,
all the things that we were
I heard
agitating
somebody-
for. What is he, if he's agitating for that still? Because in a position to
next
do
thing
so
too
now.
is- yeah, boy, but next thing too is remember, I told you the other day that we have a lot of pickers on the road because them fellas can't get regular permit and drivers, taxi driver badge. If they have
Right.
a record, they can't get a taxi driver badge, so there are plenty of them at the pullable.
Yeah, well, the government has brought a piece of legislation. The Prime Minister laid it out, like I said, on Friday. If you go back and you listen to what the PM said, in terms of the last year in office, she laid out all of the legislation that they were able to pass over within that 1 year period. And a lot of it have to do with clearing people's records for minor offenses and things like that. So fellas who can't get a taxi badge because they have some little minor offense on their record, all of that will be fixed and they will be regularized and things like that. So all of that is already in play, but of course things don't happen in the flip of a coin. It takes time for the administrative aspect
Everything
of things.
takes time.
Yeah.
I mean, people are expecting things to happen in 12 months that could not happen in 10 years. I just feel sorry for them people, yes?
Well, there you go. All right. Yeah. But there is that piece of legislation that they passed there will clear up that. Morning.
Hello, good morning. Stefan, something about democracy and living in a country that's supposed to be a democratic country is more than going to elections and having the ability to have your voice via casting your vote. One of the things important in a democracy is feeling as if you are free to do what people would have fought for in the past. So there are some persons when they hear names like Uriah Butler, and even some non-Trinidadians like Mahatma Gandhi. When you hear certain names like Makandal Daga and even Basdeo Pandey, when you hear persons with those names and the legacy that they would have fought to have the right for a certain sector of this country that feel as if we don't have a voice. And any government come in power that seems to want to remove the ability to peacefully go and have your say. I agree with Jack Warner when he says that's a very dangerous place to be in as a country because by and large, we do peaceful protests in this country, right? Nobody goes down the road and pelt anything or destroy, we do peaceful protests. And whenever people feel as if they're not allowed to do that, sometimes the miscreants in our society use that opportunity to say, well, okay, are not allowed to do it peacefully. And this is what I heard Jack Warner say in an interview. And my mind really went on some countries that try to stifle the ability to protest peacefully, and those things really happen. So I just wanted to say that right now, public sentiments leaning towards that notion that apparently this government in particular, and again, a prime minister who does not seem to want to come and sit down with anybody from the media in a way that we are accustomed seeing leaders do. But that's what leaders do. They don't allow people to come and answer for them. They come in front of a camera and another person is asking them questions and the public is able to see how the leader interacts behind doors or in front of your face, live. When you don't do those things, and on top of that, I'm not allowed to protest how I want to, it's not a safe situation for our country.
Who say you're not allowed to protest how you want to?
Sorry?
Who said that you're not allowed to protest how you want to?
Well, from my knowledge, there's a list of places in this country that persons are accustomed to going, even the UNC government,
Right.
accustomed going to that.
Okay, but
My
were we-
knowledge that they said that those places are no longer.
Okay, but
No, I could be wrong. No, did something change? Did something change?
when they
Is
were
that-
protesting there, were we under SOE?
No, so for now answer your question, I just want to know if something changed between now and that time because
Now on which time?
I just want those places that the government say that is no longer permissible to protest. Is that no longer
Well,
the
what
case?
changes that? Well, the changes that we under a state of emergency now. We weren't under a state of emergency then.
Well, we know that this government it seems like it calling a SOE on top of a SOE that failing. So that is without a doubt. We're talking about the zones that they say that you can't protest. Is that still in effect?
You have 15 zones that you can't protest in front of.
Right.
Right.
Right. And there are a couple of them that in the past there was never an issue. And I remember at time PNM was very unpopular. And nobody stopped anybody from protesting in that square in Port of Spain. Nobody stopped anybody. I remember people. And that is good, you know. And when I see those things, I say, yes, don't stop people. But I just wanted.
Okay. All right. No problem. I see your point.
Right. And that's not a good
Okay.
one. Thank you.
All right. No problem. All right. No problem. Anyway. Yeah. Morning. Yeah. Morning. Go ahead.
Morning, Stefan. Stefan, one of the greatest crime against democracy, you see stupidity, ignorance of your own thinking. And when people come and talk that kind of rubbish, that alone just show you the communist mind they have, that they imprison them own self with stupidity, with the logics that they come out to talk about. But anyway, let me not waste time. I don't know what time sentences allow the patients to get free phone call or something like that. But what I want to say, no matter what this government do, this SOE would never have a benefit to the country from the view of the opposition and the people. We would support anything them say. They would support the country burning because it just isn't what they want. They just don't want another government feel that they could do better for this country. So they would accept anything to destroy the country and criticize anything. So we are established that as a country and a citizen living in this country. I want to ask the population, who in Trinidad and Tobago that is law-abiding, that does what you're supposed to do as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago is affected by the SOE? And tell me now, in the same breath, who as a citizen of this country is affected by the crime situation in the country? Everybody is affected by the crime situation.
Yeah.
And only a small portion of the population feel that they are affected by the SOE. And if the SOE is a tool that the government could use to bring the murder rate half of what it was in the previous years, well, without a doubt it works. And if we have to live in a SOE for the next 5 years and it could reduce that murder rate even further, go with the SOE. Because let me tell you something, you see all of them who talking, them don't be in a box when you see the murder toll adds up at the end of the year. And if they was in a box, or if the family was in a box, you'd hear that different voice coming from them. So, let me don't play smart with stupidness. If that is a tool that the government have to use, let them use it. Because once you follow the law, once you be a law-abiding citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, this SOE have absolutely nothing to do with you. You're free to go where you want, you're free to come when you want, you're free to protest if you want, you're free to do anything you want. If it had other restrictions like curfew and that, well, that would limit probably some people.
But that would
movement,
limit your
and it
movement
might have
to an extent, yeah, the curfew.
yeah, but it would probably be beneficial to the people who been invaded and where crime is a hot spot and all kind of things. So you don't know if it probably would have reduced the crime even further. You understand? So you see all this nonsense with democracy and thing they're talking this morning. Let me tell you some other rocks with that stupid talk. Have a good morning, Stefan.
All
Take
right.
care, man. Later.
No problem. Some strong words here. All right. I don't understand where people get this idea. I mean, I see opposition talking about protecting your freedom. And when and where has your freedom and democracy been taken away? I'm trying to understand. Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, what's going on? Talk to us. Share your thoughts.
Yeah, blessed morning.
Yeah, man.
I just want to address one thing. The zones that they cannot protest, right?
Yeah.
Is because we are under SOE. Otherwise, you can protest in them places. But what is the significance of protesting there and a protest? What is the purpose of a protest?
Well, my thing is this, right?
You can make a point anywhere in Trinidad beside, you cannot make a point anywhere beside those places. A protest can be taking place anywhere. So I don't see what the point people trying to make. And an SOE does not affect anybody. Once you are law abiding, a SOE will not affect you. There's no curfew. You are free to move as you want. Blessed morning, Stefan.
All right, no problem. You see, this is the thing. Yeah, I'll take this one and then we get to the break. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Stefan. Well,
yeah.
I got you today. Yesterday I couldn't get you at all.
Well,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm just going to tell you while you're inside
Yes.
now. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. The first thing you said this morning, that the issue relative to Mercedes is a societal issue. And you're correct, right? If you look at it holistically, you're seeing that there are certain issues, there are disparities in the whole case. I'm just saying, I hope it's not controversial. There is a missing mother figure. And as a child, as a 12-year-old child, I want to believe that was the day of the holiday. Was it the day of the holiday? Do you remember that she
went missing?
From the news that the father said, that the father said that she was sent to an older sister to visit, and the grandfather placed her in this wagon.
Right.
We are not even
wagon,
sure
yeah.
that was if that was a legitimate PH driver also, and these are the things. And Stefan, if you look at her, she's still a child. She was very, she was underdeveloped as opposed to, some 12-year-old look like, developed and, attractive in that sense for a man. And the news was that it was a 5-minute drive, right? So you want to tell me during that, as soon as he picked up this child, what was his deprivation? The whole country is talking about finances and no jobs and so. What was his need? Stefan, you can tell me? That child was underdeveloped that deserved to be treated like that. And as you know, this again might sound controversial, it is too much. I can't say it on it. I really cannot say it. What obtains in relation to an offense of that manner with a child.
Okay.
You are looking at something that it is worse than murder if that child was raped. Worse than murder. So, and these unions, all their issues, it just started. It just started. Every time this government is in power, every time Kamala is in power, they must agitate. But these issues, they just realize that they have issues. But she ain't also a person anymore. Thanks. You take care. All the best.
All right, no problem. All right, I gotta go to the break, right? But let me just say this. You see this narrative, this ridiculous narrative of your democracy and your freedom is being taken. All you know it is to live in a country where you have no democracy and no freedom. You understand what that? Have you ever been to a nation like that? Because that in here if the nurses, if Edie Stewart and them want to protest, I am talking about going in front of the Ministry of Health House. The Ministry of Health is not on the list. Is the Ministry of Health on the list? No. It's not on the list. They went there with music truck and all kind of thing. Everybody in blue jersey. And they went down in front of the Ministry of Health and they protest. They declare 15 no protest zones, which are, when you look at those zones, those are high security zones. You understand? So, I mean, you are the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, you go and protest. What is the problem? Somebody tell you can't protest? Nobody can say can't protest. They just say in this area here, these 15 areas, you know, because you're under a state of emergency. So I don't know how hard that is to understand. I don't know if it's, maybe they said it in French and some people don't speak French. Maybe they put it out in Spanish and some people don't speak Spanish. But I don't know. I got the English version. So, I mean, I don't know. This whole talk about you're not, I mean, and then too, you know, the caller mentioned people like Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi. You don't call them fellas in the same, you don't try to make a comparison with protests or how I could say this, boy. Those are men that fought for a cause, right? A real cause. When you measure that with what everybody else wants to make noise for, it's chalk and cheese. So don't even go down that road and call people like Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. When you want to make these comparisons, that's just totally ridiculous. Right? You have, with Edie Stewart and the nurses situation, you have them clamoring for the better wages, which nobody had no problem with. But the last increase again was in 2013. You sit down for 12 years. 12 years. Who is at the negotiation table for all you? Negotiate. Get to the negotiating table. And I'm very sure that your time will come around. So, what you're protesting for? More money. You want to measure that with the cause that people like Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela and them was fighting for? We had Alyssa Phillip out on the pavement protesting in front of the DPP office. Right? The DPP office is a high security area. No protest should be allowed in front of no DPP office. But however, they were there. Okay? The protests that she was having, well, they get hijacked. They turn it into a political football. Right? But what is she out there protesting for? She's protesting over a matter that is going to the court. She's not protesting over an issue where she believes that the matter went through the court and the evidence was tampered with or her friend was unjustly handed a guilty verdict or anything like that. Nobody's been guilty or innocent. But she's out there. When it's a due process and a natural course of justice, which the opposition leader seemed to know when it's convenient to her to know. You understand what I'm saying? So what is she out there for? You know what I mean? So I mean, that to me, and matching that up to people like Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi and them is just totally ridiculous. And this whole narrative of democracy and freedom, and you are free to express yourself, and they have said it on several occasions. The Prime Minister has made it very clear on several occasions in her statements. The police have made it clear that you are free to protest once you do it within the law. So like the peace walk the other day, right? They wanted to come out and walk for peace, but it didn't apply. And that is what you need. You need police permission for that, right? So, because you have road management, traffic management, and of course, when you have rival gangs coming together under the umbrella of peace, of course, the police now antenna going up because you have rival gangs coming together in one area, in at the same time, and let me just say, something trip off somebody, and drama break out, you have to have a heavy police presence. So you need to file, to request permission to do these things. And once the permission is granted, now if people are making requests and the permission is not being granted, that's a whole different story. And then you have to take into consideration the context in which they would be rejected, right? But if I decide to have a march, and I want a march in an area that is not a no protest zone, right? And I write to the police saying, look, we want to have a march, a peaceful march, wherever, from this point to this point. But and it's not along the lines of any zones or anything like that. And the police blank here. Well, first we had to hear why the police would blank you before we jump to a conclusion, and we have to assess if it's reasonable or not before we jump to any judgment or conclusion. But I'm saying if you have a series of people that are requesting these things and being constantly rejected, then you have a good case to say, well, people's rights and their voice and everything is being suppressed. But in the absence of that, where is the lack of freedom to say what you want to say, to speak how you want? Well, I mean, you can't be bashing people's religion and that kind of thing, and I would never support that or any kind of racial rants and threats and things like that people will be posting online. I find if you could reach that far to say those things online and you figure your mouth big enough and you're bad enough, when the police come and knock on your door and take you down, you look for that. So I would never support people who do those things, right? But I'm saying people are free to express themselves. Nothing has been removed or taken away per se. So I don't think we need to, I don't know. On the extension and the SOE, I really neither here or there with it. I think crime will continue to happen if they extend it. Maybe at a lesser level than it would have been last year or year before, maybe. Well, definitely in 2024. As opposed to last year, we're looking at similar figures. So, I don't think it should be an anti-crime plan for any lengthy period, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. A state of emergency is a tool that you pull out and you utilize at specific points in time as a shock method then, right? So if you want to shock the criminal element, you use it. But to have it constantly used, it becomes the norm and criminals will adapt themselves. Now, if these fellas really serious about peace and that's the vibes that they're on, which is yet to be seen, if they could, if they're really on peace, they should have no problems bringing in their guns. Not so, fellas? If you're saying you're on peace, then you should bring in your guns. Not so? Right. But we ain't see no guns coming in yet. We ain't see nobody say, well, here we're going on. No tip-off, and even if you want to bring it in, tip off the police and say, look, the guns in so-and-so. You go find a huge cache of guns up in so-and-so and wherever. And the police go and get the guns or wherever the case might be. But we ain't seeing nobody saying we're on peace, but we go bring in the guns. Right? So we don't know what is going to happen during the rest of the year and whatever the case might be with those factions. But it's a lot of things to keep our eye on. I really neither here or there. I think however they make their decision, they really don't need the opposition support or any majority support. So I think they're going to come. They're going to pass it. They don't need the opposition to give them any support. It's going to be passed, and we're looking at 3 more months down to September. That's what I think we're looking at, whether we like it or not. So anyway, we're going to take the break. When we come back from the break, we'll get back into the conversation. We have the 12-year-old Mercedes Lane, and that video with her father. The father went to the location where his daughter was found. And I don't know how that man hold himself together, boy, but we'll see. Keep it right here. We'll be back after this.
shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Astrologer Mohit Ji is known for providing insightful astrology guidance for complex life situations, dealing with love confusion, delayed marriage, partner distancing, or serious relationship breakdowns. His approach focuses on understanding the root cause and guiding you toward the right path. If financial instability or business setbacks are affecting you, his spiritual remedies may support positive change. With psychic reading, horoscope analysis, and palm insights, he offers practical clarity. His services also include protection from negative energies and removal of bad luck. Call at +1 868 334 2796.
Welcome to Caribbean Tourist Villa, your home away from home in the heart of Port of Spain. With over 25 years of trusted hospitality, Caribbean Tourist Villa has been a reliable choice for both business professionals and vacationers. Our guest rooms are thoughtfully equipped with all the essentials for a relaxing and productive stay, and our tranquil pool area is perfect for relaxation after a busy day. We've created the ideal space for you to relax, recharge, and enjoy. Give us a call to book your stay today.
If you want to be a better chef at home or advance your professional career, Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy is the best place to be. Some of the courses that we offer here at the Academy: Creative National Cuisine 1 and 2, Baking and Pastry 1 and 2, Kids Summer Cooking Classes, one-day classes at the workshop. We have Asian cooking classes and certificate in culinary arts, food lovers and professionals. Start your culinary journey today with us at the Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
Master Ganesh Bhargav offers powerful guidance for all kinds of life problems, doubts, confusion, protection needs, and clarity. His astrology practice comes from a powerful ancestral tribal lineage with over 500 years of astrological and spiritual practice. Bhargav Ji does not dominate or pressure clients. Instead, he focuses on fixing problems with care and balance. His reunion love spells and death reversal spells are designed to restore harmony and provide lifetime protection. This is not individual effort alone, but collective spiritual power working for you. Many clients notice strong positive changes within a few sessions. Call +1 868 347 2350.
All right, so we're back, and let me see. Let me just message my mother here. Today's the 9th of June. So, today I'm now looking at some pictures here. I asked her a picture of my sister. I only have one picture or two pictures of my sister home. Today she would have been 45. you know. She died in 2006. She would have been 45 today. So they're now sending me some pictures. And so at the end of the birthday segment there, I'll put up a couple pictures of her. But, you know, I'm not watching any pictures there and I'm just shaking my head, you know. I will be 49 next week, which is the 18th of June. And we were like 9 days up. Well, she's the 9th of June. I was the 18th of June. 2 Gemini children. And she was the one that, let me tell you something. See the job I'm doing right now, fellas? This job I'm doing right now, like on TV and everything, right? She would have been the one that if you had to vote on which one of us would end up in this kind of career, she'd have get 10 votes, I would have get 0. and you know what I mean? But, you know, I miss my sister dearly, you know what I mean? And today's a day that, you know, when I think of that, I really had to send a message to those people on the road there because she died in a car accident coming from south. And, you know, by the time I got to the hospital, I didn't get to see her before she died. You know, and I always feel like I never get to tell her, you know, I never get to tell her goodbye, you know. But such is life, you know. And I say that because people lose their children, you know, under different circumstances. So my mother and my father, from a parenting standpoint, from a parental standpoint, they would have lost their daughter, right, to this car accident when she was very young and tons of potential. Sonia had tons of potential. And as a big, you know, as I would have been young in those days too, but you feel, you know, the pain that you feel now. I cannot express what my mother or my father would have felt. And I was kind of dazed. I didn't even know what to think because it's not something you expect. Up until that point, the only people that had died in my family would have been my grandfather, right? So it was a whole different thing because you tell yourself, well, you know, that's how it is. You grow old and you die at that point in time, right? You're born, you live, you grow old, and you die. You bury your parents and your grandparents and so on and so forth. So when my sister died in that accident, it was a totally different type of feeling because it's something that you don't expect. You don't expect to get a phone call and hear that your little sister just got in an accident and she died, right? So yesterday, as I was going through social media and I saw the video with the father of Mercedes Lane, I was thinking, you know, like, how that brother holding it together, boy? Because I mightn't know what it's like from a parent standpoint, but I know what it's like to some extent. And my sister's circumstances in her death might differ from the way that his daughter died. However, it's a death. It's a loss of life. All the same. You know? Let me take you to the video. Let me get the video with the father now.
Paul Road. This says that this area here is where my daughter was found, Mercedes Lane. No, Yesterday, Sunday morning, a friend of mine stopped, you know, because she was missing since Saturday. A friend of mine stopped and told me, he said, but I know here's something there and I'm hoping it's not it now, but he said, but the swabbing unit now find a body on a location in Carpal and the guys in the station now, boy. And I came.
So when you came to the site here, what did you see? What did you observe?
I come up here with my brother. We stopped down the hill there and came up the hill there and saw my daughter lying here. In this area right here, where the leaves are. You know? She was in her jersey alone. Blood coming from her hair, you know. As I said before, me, you know, doctor, but in my mind, she could have only been beaten in her head for blood to be coming out her ears.
So when was the last time you saw your daughter?
The last time I saw my daughter prior to yesterday dead could have been about a week ago. You know? Could have been about a week ago when Kimby asked me to buy chicken for them. Chicken and fish. You know, and I saw her. That wasn't the last time. I saw her after that. Not long after. Saw her by the school, gave her a little money. I gave the smaller daughter money. Because honestly, I gave them the money to share. And she told me, you know, that she have a field trip to go to. So if she could keep the money, I said, Mama, keep the money, and I just give my next daughter a next 100. You know, and I tell Mercedes, I say, Mama, you under your scene, and I say, closer to the field trip, let me know, I'll sort you out. You know?
And that was the last interaction you had with your daughter?
Interaction I had with her, all right. You know, and yesterday, I got a call from my, not yesterday, day before, on Saturday, I got a call from one of my daughter, one of her siblings, a bigger one, who asked me if Mercedes by me. So no, Mercedes not by me, plus I'm not home, you know? And she that you know, Mercedes was put in her car since 9 after 9, whatever. And I was about 4:15 the evening. And she hasn't reached home. Which is a 3 to 5 minutes destination away from pick up to drop off boy. You know, so it's like from that hour to minutes to 4, something has to be wrong. You know? And I went to the station immediately. Made a report, and to be honest, the officers in charge started making certain calls, and 3-4 different units came immediately within the hour. And they were deployed, and they started a vigorous search. To be honest, they started a very vigorous search. I mean, not because they started a vigorous search, it means that something would just turn up, you know, nothing didn't turn up, you know, which is all good. You know, and then next morning, the swabbing unit, as far as I understand, they comes every Sunday to do work on this well. You know, every Sunday as a rule, they comes at this well to do it. Apparently they came, and the first thing to greet them is a body in the corner here now. Right time I got the thing I realized had to be my daughter, you know. Come on. We in Carpal.
Yeah, man. So, my brother, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know how you held yourself together there to do that. But the loss of a child is never easy, especially in the manner in which your daughter would have died. And I'll say something now. I always remember I say I never saw my sister at the hospital. I didn't get to see her. When I got there, they said she had already passed away. And I have often wondered, right, when she got into the accident and she was by herself, what she went through in that moment. And I used to play that scenario in my head over and over. I wonder what she went through, boy. I wonder if she was in pain. I wonder if she, if she called out for anybody. I wonder if she, you understand what I'm saying? I take it on it real deep this morning, because I find we just let these things pass without really dissecting it and going as deep as we can. Those are the thoughts that I had. Because she was alone, she was in this vehicle, fire service show up, they had to cut her out. Then she got to the hospital, and she didn't have anybody there with her. And I think of this scenario here, the same way that I would have thought of Andrea Barrett's scenario, or Shannon Banfield's scenario, and others, of course. And I say to myself, I wonder what our child went through in those moments. I wonder how that child cried out for help that never came. You understand? Or the pain that the child felt while those blows were being delivered, because, as the autopsy revealed, that was the cause of death, blunt force trauma. Right? And I know the majority of people in this place, and that's why it's be so critical and passionate about people who come out to make noise for something, right? And while they're making noise for something over here, things like this, we're not really checking ourselves with. We're not reflecting on it. We're not going deep enough into it. We're not thinking about it. So yeah, I think of Andrea Barrett being in the car. I think of the moment in time where she would have realized that her life was in danger, and the things that she could not do to get away. And then I think of the horrible events that she would have been subjected to in that isolated area, wherever she was taken, and the moments of pain and torture that she would have gone through before dying. I just think about those things. I don't know about the rest of all you, but I just think about that. That's how far I just go. And the same thing I apply to this situation here. When a little child jumped in our car and the grandfather put her into the car, telling himself, she's safe. Right? Because maybe it's something that is ordinary thing. They always put her in a car, whatever the case might be. Not expecting that this would have been the fate of the child on that day. It's the same way with the 17-year-old boy that put his mother in the car and say, "I ride behind you, I'll catch you next one." And a gunman come and a man use him as a human shield and kill him. You know what that mother must be feeling? She must be saying, I should have put my son in the car and I should have stand up on the taxi stand. And he'd be alive today. The same with the grandfather saying today, I should have never put her in the car, or I should have go with her, or something. But that is after the fact. Right? What happened, how it happened, because it's something we are accustomed doing. You're not expecting that level of evil. You understand? And then I think of the child traveling in the car and realizing that the driver is not taking her home. And because she's 12 and he could easily overpower her, I think of what she would have gone through in those moments. So I don't know about the rest of it, but when I talk, that's the positions I just talk from. And that's why I just try to, that's why sometimes when people talk in certain things, I just be like, what are you really talking about? You understand? 327-7400. So what is the solution to this? Anybody know? What is the solution? How do we prevent things like this from happening? And sometimes the fact and the reality is in situations like this, when things happen like this at the hands of people like that, in small, tight-knit communities as it has been described, somebody does know that something wrong with that fella, and nobody does say a word. Morning.
A very, very, I don't know if it's a good morning or sad morning. Stefan, I normally take a little time to make my contribution, but today I might aim out. We was offshore having lunch, and this guy came in and was sitting on a table by himself. So we was carrying on a conversation, and the conversation was about Sean Luke. I don't know why we was talking about that. And this fella, he come across and he said, excuse me, could I join you guys? I say, sure. Well, I don't know why he's sitting the next table in the first place. And that fella tell me, he's Sean Luke, brother. Well, Stefan, the appetite gone. And I want to remind you, we had Sean Luke, we had Amy Anamantudo, we had Hope Aresmandez, Baby Angelo, Althea Thomas in Lavantil. And apart from Shannon Balfreda, I'm just talking about the children now. How much more this damn nonsense we're going to take? Enough is enough. This country has reached our tipping point. Madam Prime Minister and all the people in authority, if all are listening, listen. Stefan, boy, I don't know what to say. You know there's a saying that God don't sleep, he does only wear pajamas? I don't know, correct me this morning and give me some advice and consolation or some damn thing. Because I want to believe sometime he does bloody well be sleeping.
Yeah.
All the best. All the best. All the best.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I remember meeting Sean Luke's mother when we were on the candlelight movement. I remember meeting that lady, boy. That lady she's a broken lady, boy. You know? Morning.
Stefan, blessed uprising, the Cosa Nostra.
Yeah, man.
Stefan, this is a society problem. This is something we inherit. See this behavior? Where people getting on with crime and heinous crime and all these things is something where we inherit. Right? You hearing me?
I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Right? And here what I'm telling you. Stefan, the more severe the crime, is the stiffer the penalty. You understand what I'm saying? The more severe the crime is, the stiffer the penalty. And you see justice delay is justice denied. You understand?
Yeah.
You're taking too long to bring these people and them to justice and give family justice. You see, as fast as them fellas commit crime, it's just as fast they're supposed to get the justice.
Yeah.
If they commit a crime in 5 minutes, give them justice in 5 minutes. You understand? Because when you're in China and you thief a car, you just get hanged for murder. In 24 hours, all your appeal exhausts. You understand?
Right.
So if you deal with these people and them very severe and show an example of where you want how the thing's supposed to go, you'll always get a set of backlog of crime and crime on top of crime we're insolvent. And you have to start from the head because society creating that problem on top, because they're committing crime and they're insolving the crime on top. So when the bottom commit crime, they can't solve the crime to the bottom either because the ground in no voice on top and it has no voice below. Because if you check it right now, it's an influence. There's an influence going on in the country, and it's the wrong influence. And where it's coming from? It's coming from on top, because it's something we inherit. You understand? It's not something we pick up just so you know, or we get to know just so you know. It's something where they teach we gradually, the how we get into this behavioral pattern where we're using right now in our country. Stefan?
Right, man.
The more severe the crime, is the more stiffer the penalty.
All
Have
right.
a blessed one.
Yeah, man. We'll go again there. Yeah, morning. Morning, go ahead.
Morning again, Stefan. Stefan, the gentleman who called prior to this caller here mentioned a lot of children who got murdered. There's a common denominator with all those kids that got killed. They would figure it out eventually. And the fact of the matter, you see, this morning as we speak about this, there's some sick human being going to commit similar situation like that. That's just who we are as a society. Right now, there's somebody sitting thinking who to prey on, who to rape, who to murder, who to kill in this simple little country here. Law, nothing would be able to prevent that. But you see what we have to understand? Evil is a living, breathing thing. And once it exists, the only way to get rid of it, you have to exterminate it. And for a situation like this, keeping these people in jail, come like you just keep on having the evil in our society, adding up. And if they don't start getting rid of people like this immediately, like in other countries, that evil would remain in the country. It would continue to grow and breed and infest the rest of the population. And that is where we need to, no matter it mightn't deter, no matter it wouldn't prevent, but the fact of the matter is that this balances out what was committed. And you see the sympathizers who would come and say human rights, this and all kind of thing, them contribute to that. And until something knocks on their door, then they would understand what really takes place. But again, I go back to the point. Look at the common denominator with all the children who does be killed in it starts with single. Have a good morning, Stefan. Take
Yeah, man, no problem. I'll see if I can squeeze about two more. Hello, good morning.
Hey.
Yeah, morning. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, morning, Stefan. First of all, the first part of the show, you asked about the state of emergency. I agree that we should have the state of emergency because that is a crime plan. Regardless of what the opposition say, that is a crime plan. And secondly, in connection with this little child death, as everybody say, we have a lot of sick people around, and somebody mentioned about the leaders. Well, what happened to the leaders before? Because our leader right now is a God-fearing person, and I can see where we are going in the right direction. Stefan.
All right.
So, okay. So I think the state of emergency should stand, and that is a crime plan. Okay.
All right, no problem. Well, it would be an anti-crime plan, but all the same, I understand where you're coming from. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning, Stefan.
Yep, what's up, man?
Opinion on this thing, right? We have been here many times before. We have had instances of criminal activities such as these or murders such as these before, and we keep going around in circles and having these type of discussions. My point is, we have to loosen Trinidad when it comes to children. When a school is over, let's say quarter of the children that leaves the school, their parents or guardian come and pick them up. The rest of them walk the streets and walk to go home. At any given time, some unfortunate event could occur. In the States, I went to Louisiana, line of traffic in front of school to pick up each and every child there. Those who are not attended by a parent or guardian, they enter a school bus and the school bus drop them straight at home. Hence the reason why in Trinidad, when children are unattended, are not supervised on the streets like the secondary schools, and then we have so much of fights. You understand? So the government at the day, government past, government present, we keep failing the children on them. You understand?
Right.
We have this crime that happened here now. All right, the grandfather put the child in a car. We had a system in place that was introduced into Trinidad, the Uber. What happened? Well, they started wipe out and started kill drivers and this kind of thing. That would have been so good to the country and would have benefited us so good and so well in this country, because many of the age kids that we have on the road, after a certain hour, they stop work, so we have no other choice but to turn to the private cars and things. We need to up our game in this country. We are too slack when it comes to children. Thank you.
All right, no problem. I agree with that. I think we're extremely slack when it comes to kids. Morning.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Yeah, I sat down and I was thinking about this whole situation.
Yeah, man.
What it is as it relates to crime or laws that prevented these things from happening before as compared to now, because now we could say we have more laws as it relates to dealing with criminals as compared to long ago, as we said.
Yeah, and compared to
And
like
while
20,
it is
30 years ago, we have way more legislation now, yeah.
Exactly. So then why we have an increase in these kind of crimes? So clearly it's not only laws. It's not laws alone cannot deal with this. This deals with personal mentality, right? And sometimes we have to nip things in the bud, as one of the caller was mentioning, right? Look simple. Or recently, there's a lot of racial outbursts with different persons in society.
Yep.
And these things, we have to nip it. If we don't nip it in the bud, further down, we might wonder, well, how we reached to this society?
We allow
this
it to-
society
yeah.
reached our state of this, right? But it's these little things that we tend to ignore. And if we don't shut it down early, 20 years from here, we might have a racial war in here, because little bit by little bit, we allow these little things to just enter our society, and we play it off as, well, it's just a little, a man that's talking about somebody's religion. But these are the things, this is how it starts. And this here, what we see happening in the country is something that happened from long ago that we just ignored. And then now we're reaping the benefits of it. That's why King Austin had to say the price of progress is high. This is what it spoke about. So we at a state where I think even if we bring laws, because a man don't go and commit a crime if he know he's going to get caught. The fact you're going to do it is because you believe you're going to get away.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
So it's a bigger picture. It's a bigger picture, but it's very sad.
Yeah, man. All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah, man. All right. So, all right, I'll squeeze this final one here real quick. Hello, morning.
Yeah, morning, Stefan. Morning.
Yeah.
So, I want to say two things, right? I want to ask a question first. Is Trinidad, we in drastic times, right? We could obviously look at the news and thing and realize that. And if we look around the world, we need to ask the question, is Trinidad and Tobago ready for the measures, the drastic measures that would bring about the results that they want to see in a year time or so from our government, right? Are we ready to do those things that have been tried, tested, and proven in other countries, even in our own region? And from what we could look at on the political landscape, the answer is no. We're not ready for it yet. We still rather bicker and think, rather than be all before now, all before this government take office. We just wanted something to be done, anything to be done because of what was happening before. And now that something and anything is being done, we find, well, we shouldn't do this because we can't protest, and we shouldn't do that. We find in all kind of excuse why something and anything shouldn't be done.
Yep.
I also want to say that we're hearing people calling in, talking about the types of parenting that we need to protect our children. And the long and short about it is they're saying that society itself should be involved in raising children. In the 90s, when I was going to school, my father was a police, right? And I could not be on a taxi stand, lineman and thing, going to or coming. The police used to come and put you in a car. You waiting for the car with the nicest car with the pong or whatever. The police coming and putting you in a old car, old maxi, and sending you home today. If the police try that, the parents going to complain and go to talk shows, certain flamboyant talk shows, and talk about how the police rough up the child and the police ought to talk to them. So life is not a nice, smooth, easy going thing. You're going to get rough up at some point in time, whether it's by your boss, your parent, some teacher, whatever.
Yeah.
We're not teaching these children and them nothing, and they're growing up to be parents that don't know nothing to pass down to the children. I'll listen off. Good morning.
Yep. Excellent. All right, so I'll tell you what, we got to go to the break. And when we come back from the break, Seth Wayo is here. So we're going to get into that. We'll have 10 minutes with him before we take another break, and then we get to the birthdays. So keep it right here on Breaking Dawn. Thanks a lot for your calls and comments. And when we come back, we will continue. So, yeah, we'll be back after this. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Antigua Mars. Them people have no behavior, they have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua Mars. Clear out how you know it's danger, how you know it's danger. When it comes to massive madadle.
Every day at the castle, long before we open our doors, our work begins. Our famous seasonings are mixed in advance. We select our fresh chicken parts and prep our delicious sides. Then we fire up the fryers and rotisserie oven. Everything is made with tasty local herbs, spices, and the same long-loved recipe since 1968. So, when you come in, remember that we uphold our culture and our taste just for you. We are your Royal Castle.
TT Bet Arena is your one-stop entertainment destination in Trinidad.
Welcome to Antigua Mars. Them people have no behavior, they have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua Mars. Clear out how you know it's danger, how you know it's danger. When it comes to massive madadle.
Look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Lisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Lisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Lisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Lisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
Feeling distance in your relationship or sensing someone interfering between you and your partner? Connect with Pandit Anirudh, known for powerful and result-oriented love solutions. His effective love spells have helped many reunite with lost partners. If you face family conflict, marriage issues, negativity, or financial stress, his strong mantras bring quick relief. Know what lies ahead in your love life and future through powerful astrology readings. Many lives have changed. Now it's your turn. Contact +1 868 278 0399.
Why just manage disease when you can reverse it? At Setwaya's Holistic Health Clinic, we don't just mask symptoms, we focus on reversing illness naturally. Imagine freedom from medications and the cycle of dependence. Our approach dives deep into uncovering root causes without herbs, tonics, or medications. From diabetes and heart disease to mental health, obesity, and more, our personalized care is transforming lives. Ready to begin? Book your consultation today, either in our San Fernando office or online. Call or WhatsApp 279-3935 or 761-1952. Your health journey starts now at Setwayo's Holistic Health Clinic, where transformation is within reach.
All right, so we're back and we have Setwayo aboard with us here for the next 10 minutes. So 15 minutes away from the hour of 8 o'clock. Seth, good morning to you, man. What's up?
Good morning.
Good to see you again. What are we talking about this morning?
So I was looking into the topic because I've had many clients come to me, and when we discussing nutritional therapy, going through their consultation, re-educating them, they would have some questions because they would want to, find out with regards to stuff that might be biblically related.
Right.
A lot of people have their beliefs with regards to stuff with nutrition and health. And that's what I want to make the topic, right? The use of biblical terminologies and stuff with regards to marketing and pushing products. And the reason for that is because when people use biblical topics, themes, or quotes, it disarms people's skepticism. Because, it's biblical, so therefore people would follow it without questioning it. Because, a lot of people are told or grew up knowing or being taught, you don't question God. So by using biblical principles in marketing, people apply that same kind of mentality towards products and they don't question it, right? Now, of course, I must state I am not attacking the Bible or anything like that. I'm just showing people to help people understand certain principles with regards to marketing and using biblical wording and phrasing and stuff in it to
What
set up.
are some of the phrases would you?
Well, I'll comment to that just now.
All right. I'm very interested
So,
to find that out.
We have, I saw it have a number one, well, a best-selling book. You are pretty sure you know about this book because this book has been around since it was published in 1939. My grandmother had a copy of this book. That book called Back to Eden. Sure you're familiar with it. You would have heard about that book. It pushes biology and all these stuff like that. Though it is a book that has been heavily criticized by the scientific community, and rightly so. But many people may not know this, but I have a history or background of being a preacher. I went to Trinidad School of Preaching and Teaching. So I studied, I studied the Bible, I studied Introduction to Koine Greek. I had my Greek and Hebrew dictionaries. I had over 1,000 books. As people might assume, I read a lot, right?
Okay.
So I'm somebody that research a lot. So when I see certain things, so this book that was written by, what's the guy name? Is Jethro Klaus, or Jethro Klaus, back in 1939. Back to Eden, because it sounds good. You're going back to Eden for remedies and healing and so forth. But from a biblical standpoint, people that read the scriptures would see that after the fall of man, Adam and Eve in the garden, when they committed their sin, they were placed out of the garden, and the cherubim and the flaming sword was placed. So mankind never had access to the garden again, right? Adam and Eve were the only two individuals that had access to the garden, and they lost that access.
Right.
So to say back to Eden, referring back to what was in the garden, there is no one in existence that knows what was in the garden.
That's true, eh?
Right?
That's true.
No one in existence.
We could only well, even with the tree, right? Most people associate the forbidden fruit as an apple.
As an apple,
right? But that and all is
that was never stated.
It was never stated it was an apple,
right?
And some people say the forbidden fruit is more. Some people
think
have
it's
analyzed it.
Think it's figurative.
Of more of a part of the female anatomy.
Right. So
So people, right.
Yeah,
and that was the forbidden
interpretations,
fruit.
right?
Right. So people have different interpretations of what it is. And that's the thing with the Bible. It's a book that is open to many interpretations.
And many aspects of it have symbolisms and stuff, right? But they use the fact that, a lot of people don't really read per se. Right? Now, I read the Bible cover to cover, just to mention that I read it cover to cover, right? From Genesis to Revelations, and like I said, I studied the books, right? And I read that before I even got into church, because I'm the type of person, I told myself, I don't want anybody to fool me, right? So I want to read things cover to cover so I would know what is in it, and not just blindly accept quotes that people might be making. So when people use these terminologies and stuff, biblical terminologies, in marketing, that to me is a red flag. So my antennas go up one time. For other people, they would just accept it. Oh, it's biblical. For example, I'll show you familiar this one now. Ezekiel bread.
Yes.
Right? Ezekiel bread.
Ezekiel bread, I've heard of that, yeah.
Now, if you read the book of Ezekiel chapter 4, from verse 9 to 15, that is what talks about with the bread, right? But you read Ezekiel chapter 4, that is actually dealing with judgment, with the nation being under siege, right? It was prophetic language. It was a prophetic demonstration that God told Ezekiel to demonstrate in front of the people, where he had to eat a particular way for 390 days, right? Due to the transgression of the nation, because God was sending a warning to the people that this is what is going to happen to you.
Right.
So the bread that he was eating, that consists of wheat, barley, millet, spelt, and some other grains, he had to cook that in full display of the population. But people talking about this bread wasn't supposed to be something to nourish him. It was supposed to be survival or ration food, to show starvation, to show hardship. And here's a key thing that they leave out. he was instructed to cook that bread publicly in front of the in front of people, in front of the nation, over human feces.
Okay.
Right? And then he protested. He said, God, I never ate anything so defiled. So then tell him what? Okay, cook it over cow dung. So he had to cook that bread over cow dung. This bread was never meant to nourish. It was meant to malnourish, to emaciate, in order to bring across a strong message to the people. Due to your transgressions, this is what is going to become of you. But how much people going and read the text to see where they get this thing from? So now we have this bread here now selling, and people buying it thinking it is going to improve health. You look at the ingredients of that. Remember I mentioned over the past couple of weeks there's something called bioavailability. The stuff used in that to make that bread the nutrients in it are unbioavailable, right? They're not bioavailable. Right? It's very difficult for the human body to extract nutrients from the sources used to make that bread. And that was done for a reason. Not to improve Ezekiel's health, but to show suffering, let the people know this is what would happen to you when you transgress.
Right.
There are other passages. For example, the most famous one. Because when you talk about things with regards to health, and in my case, when I show the dangers of consuming plant-based stuff and showing things like toxins that are in plants and so forth that a lot of people are unaware of, they would quote, but the Bible says the herbs are for the healing of the nation. Which part? Right? So then I realized, they're drawing reference to Revelation 22:2, which talk about the tree of life that is in the river of life, and the tree of life. But it's like, but Revelation is in prophetic language. It's in symbols and signs and apocalyptic language, right? Because if you read the fruit, the tree in the midst of the river of the tree of life, it bears fruit every month, but it bears 12 different types of fruit.
Okay.
So you know it's figurative. There is no tree in existence that bears 12
different types of fruit. No.
Right? And instead, the leaf of the tree is for the healing of the nation. Not herbs are for the healing of the nation.
Okay.
Right? The leaf of the tree of the fruit of the tree of life, right? So when people take things out of context, it can be misused and pushed in a marketing manner that it disarms people's skepticism. Oh, it's in the Bible, so therefore it has to be correct.
Okay.
And that is not true. So I've always told people, when it comes to health and nutrition, knowledge is important. Knowledge is important. But to attain knowledge, reading is required.
Right.
Reading is of extreme importance as well. A lot of knowledge is in writing. Right. Yesterday we have technology that you have videos and stuff like that, but you still have a lot of knowledge that is actually in written form. Right? Back in my preaching days, I had a preacher from the US who has given us a story, true story, where they were giving away ticket to the Super Bowl, I think it was. Right? So they had a meeting with the members and they tell them to hide a ticket somewhere in the church. Right? And whoever find it, they get the ticket free, they could go to the Super Bowl. Right? People turn the whole church upside down, they're looking for it. Nobody found it. You know where it was?
Where it was?
The table where they're having the meeting, they had a Bible right there on the first page. Right? And the evangelist said he knew nobody was going to find it because people don't like to read, so they would have never opened the book.
Well, they say if you want to hide something, put it in a book, and then now we live in the digital age, where it is even more difficult to get persons to read a book, as opposed to, going online. And I prefer a book, honestly. I prefer sitting down and reading a book, but I come from a different era. The era before us, they had no choice but to read.
Correct.
Because they would have had less distractions.
But here's the
right?
thing.
But as more distractions are created with technology,
even with
people move away from the books.
You could read online and stuff like that. You know that only around that about 25% of the population don't read or refuses to read. Not that they can't read enough, right? 15 to 25% just chooses not to read.
Yeah.
Right? And to me, that is restricting you. So which means that 15 to 25% is actually open to manipulation, because then they would trust things that they might see on video. Now,
Right.
Trinidad statistics now, the adult statistics, 25% of our population cannot read, right?
Okay, all right.
And that's also an issue.
Yeah, that's a serious statistic here.
Exactly, which means that 25% have themselves open to manipulation.
To manipulation.
Right.
Yeah, because but you see it every day. People will formulate an opinion based on reading a headline.
Yeah.
And then when you read the actual story, you realize, well, wait now, but the headline and the story don't match. But they would have formulated an opinion based on just the headline. They don't go into the story and read the story. And the longer the story,
oh gosh,
the more difficult it becomes to get them to read it. The shorter the story, even with content, video content, everything, the shorter the content, the more widely viewed it is. When you go into the analytics of social media platforms, and you check and you see, okay, you might see a video with 100,000 views. But when you go into the analytics and you check to see how much of the video
was viewed, it's like
was
3
viewed,
seconds, yeah.
It's like 3 to
Yeah,
5
3
seconds,
yeah.
sometimes 10 seconds. So in a maybe 2 to 3 minute video, the vast majority of those views was like 5 seconds long.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not that you get 100,000 people didn't watch a video, They click on it.
That's why the most famous people are entertainers.
Yeah.
And not so much information givers, not educators.
Yeah.
Right? Because people prefer to be entertained than educated. And that's a huge problem, huge problem, because it's the lack of knowledge that causes so much manipulation. We have been doing stuff in society here, nutritionally, health-wise, right? But nothing is getting better. Right? Things continue to get worse. All diseases are on the increase, right? All diseases going up. Our second largest expense as a nation in our budget is our health care. Right? That alone shows that we are not in a good space. We are not in a good situation. And that's because people refusing to educate themselves. I didn't write my book for guests, right? I didn't write my book because I just wanted to write a book. I write my book to inform and educate, because when you have more knowledge, you are less likely to be manipulated. Right? Once there's a knowledge gap, manipulation fits in. Now, the other thing with knowledge, because even in the Bible, the book of Ecclesiastes would have stated that wisdom comes with sorrow, right? And knowledge brings much grief. Right? So as you increase it in knowledge, you also increase it in grief. And why is that? The reason is the more knowledge you have is the better able you are to see how much people are being manipulated. Right? And that is not an easy thing to watch, Let's take, for instance, in my case, I know why everybody is sick. I know how to reverse almost everything. Right? But you can't force people into that. You have to allow people to make their decisions. I try my best to educate people so they could have more information so that they could make their decisions. Many people usually would choose, nah, I ain't going to go around this person's labor route too hard, right? Some people might find it a little too hard to change your diet at a couple of things that I actually like or whatever. Let me try other things. And I've seen people try other things, and try other things, and keep trying other things, and then have to come all the way right back to me. But sometimes when they come back to me, too late. The time when they were trying other stuff, they made their situation worse. And by the time they come back here now to me, the damage that have accumulated had reached an extent that I can't even help them anymore. Right? So I've seen people die due to that because they waited too long They had an opportunity, but then they were looking for another means. The reality is, nutritional therapy is actually the only true way to heal the body. You know why the body heals itself. There's no product that could actually heal you. Products could help suppress symptoms, which can give the illusion of healing, but it's not actual healing, it's symptom suppression. So you might feel good, and people need to understand, not because you are feeling good means that you are actually good, right? We learn our word during COVID, the nation. What do you call it?
Asymptomatic?
Not asymptomatic, happy hypoxia.
Oh,
right?
happy hypoxia,
right?
Asymptomatic. Comorbidities.
COVID, you know that a few words, right?
A few words, a few terminologies came out there.
So it was because somebody was sounding very good and happy and energetic over the phone, but the oxygen levels was dropping low, to the point where it could affect the brain to an extent that you feel good. And then, boom, death came right after. Right? So you could feel good and not be good, and not because you are feeling good actually means you are good. So a lot of people would say, well, look, I just drink, and I just do this and that, and I just eat this and that, and I good.
Right.
But then when the decline happens, it happens rapid and fast. Right? And there's a sudden decline.
Well, we got to wrap things up here because we're out of time. But you can contact Seth on the following numbers if you want to get further information. It's very simple. All you got to do, you give him a call on 279-3935. That is 279-3935. Or you could WhatsApp him on 761-1952. That is 761-1952. And you get all the information you need there. You could book an appointment. You could also order the book. Or you could go to RIK Bookstore nationwide, or Nelson's in Tobago, or Amazon. Amazon
And
also
they
has
have
the book
the
as
digital
well.
copy on Gum Road for those that want digital.
Gum what?
Gum Road.
Gum Road. All right, Gum. I just want to forget that one. Right, on Gum Road. So make sure and check him out today. And we got to take a break. When we take the final break here, when we come back, I realize we only had the one birthday. Two? No, that's the same person. If it's Lana. If it's Lana, it's the same thing. So I think it's only one. Sonia, you alone today, girl? All right. So we'll be back after this, people. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Caribbean Tourist Villa, your home away from home in the heart of Port of Spain. With over 25 years of trusted hospitality, Caribbean Tourist Villa has been a reliable choice for both business professionals and vacationers. Our guest rooms are thoughtfully equipped with all the essentials for a relaxing and productive stay, and our tranquil pool area is perfect for relaxation after a busy day. We've created the ideal space for you to relax, recharge, and enjoy. Give us a call to book your stay today.
Let's get it started. I say, whoa yo, all so come and take a jump and let we start it by the drum, let we start it by the drum. Party on the road, it's a party on the road. Line it up, bring the shots and line it up. Party on the road, it's a party on the road. Look at lights in the back, watch my canal in the front. Party on the road, it's a party on the road. Come let we party on the road. Take a jump and let we start it by the drum, let we start it by the drum. Party on the road, it's a party on the road. Line it up, bring the shots and line it up. Party on the road, it's a party on the road. Look at lights in the back, watch my canal in the front. Party on the road, it's a party on the road. Come let me party on the road. So let me see your hands up in the air, wave them up in the band. People from everywhere, welcome up to the
Master Ganesh Bhargav offers powerful guidance for all kinds of life problems, doubts, confusion, protection needs, and clarity. His astrology practice comes from a powerful ancestral tribal lineage with over 500 years of astrological and spiritual practice. Bhargav Ji does not dominate or pressure clients. Instead, he focuses on fixing problems with care and balance. His reunion love spells and death reversal spells are designed to restore harmony and provide lifetime protection. This is not individual effort alone, but collective spiritual power working for you. Many clients notice strong positive changes within a few sessions. Call +1 868 347 2350.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supply of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78, Bamboo Settlement number 2, Valsane, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor, and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
If you're planning an event, make us your first option. At Reality of a Dream, we can make your event memorable. We can assist in planning your corporate functions, moderate gatherings, family occasions, christenings, and more. We also cater for weddings and other special occasions. Our newly renovated venue includes a majestic entryway, which takes you along a path to a fantastic indoor facility, which can accommodate up to 80 dining guests. A recently completed, fully air-conditioned, beautifully designed wing, which maintains the theme and flow of Reality of a Dream, adds 30 extra seats for dining guests. In total, we can now seat a total of 110 dining guests. Come see for yourself the splendor that awaits you. Walk along the path and make your way to the breathtaking, well-maintained swimming pool and gazebo, and also the entire grounds of Reality of a Dream. We've also updated the Dream Suite, which comes with all modern conveniences, where guests can enjoy the feeling of an exquisite retreat overlooking the entire area. Reality of a Dream caters to professional events. We provide secured parking for guests, so call us at 332-6880 and ask for Harriet, located at number 15 Moses Avenue, San Juan. Reality of a Dream, making dreams come true every day.
Eden Heights Clinic is one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. They offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments, including prolozone therapy, live blood analysis, halotherapy, limb backing, nutritional programs, colon hydrotherapy, weight loss programs, oxygen baths, and more. Their professional doctors, Drs. Carlos Navarro, Bronwyn Navarro, and Brian Thompson, provide consultation services in areas of diabetes detox programs, arthritis, sports injuries, heart disease, high blood pressure, persons suffering with knee, shoulder, and back pain. At Eden Heights Clinic, they understand that your health is your wealth. Get in touch with them to determine which service is the right choice for you. Visit them at any one of their 3 locations at 13 Montague Avenue, Twin City, at 41 Ramsaran Street, Shoguanas, or give them a call at 640-8985 or 613-7571, or send them a WhatsApp to 493-9196. Eden Heights Clinic is your right choice.
Greetings to you all in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior, the sweet rose of Sharon and the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. I am Ezekiel Johnson Fort, and I am pleased to inform you of the newest branch of the Christian Union Church, Trinidad and Grenada District, San Juan Revival Ministries. If you are desiring prayer, healing, or that closer connection to the Heavenly Father, then the place to be is at San Juan Revival Ministries. And allow me to ask you one question. Are you living a life without Jesus Christ? Do you desire freedom from spiritual bondage? Then the only solution to your problem is Him. In the book of Matthew, chapter 11 and verses 28, it says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And this is mostly speaking to those of you who are Christians and you might not have a place to fellowship. Come, fellowship with us at the Christian Union Church San Juan Revival Ministries. Come, be edified and equipped by the word of God preached by the man of God, Senior Reverend Bishop Dave Donation. You will be empowered by the move of the Holy Spirit of the living God. Come and be comforted. If you desire to be an environment that shows compassion and care for your spiritual needs, growth, and development, then fellowship with us at number 1 Bagatelle Corner, Saddle Road, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I look forward to seeing you there, and God bless you all, and may the peace of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, be with you now and always. God bless you all.
All right, people, so we're back, and as we wrap things up this morning very quickly here, I just want to say happy heavenly birthday to my sister, whom I miss dearly. She passed away at the age of 25 in 2006. She was a carnival baby. You know, that's her there. Well, okay, just go back to the first picture there. Right, so that's Sonia there. That's her second son, Dimitri, who just graduated from Tampa University. So he has gone on to do great things, and he is the businessman extraordinaire. Says he's going to be a millionaire by the time he's 25. We'll see. But that's Dimitri there and Sonia there. That's, you know what I mean. And yeah, go ahead. And that's when she carried them to the mall, you know, Lord Father. Now, remember I told you earlier, I grew up in a house with 7 girls. This is 3 out of the 7. That's Lana to the bottom, Anya in white, and Kimberly in blue to the far right. And then you see Sonia there in the middle. So that's like her riding partners. And this is Sonia again. She was a dresser. And yeah, she was a fat hard party. That was her thing. You know what I mean? This is me here with Lana, Sonia, and Anya. This is some real old pictures, boy. Go ahead. Yeah, but, and here, now it's 7 of them. We have Andrea, Risa, Jenna, Kimberly, Lana, Anya, and Sonia. 7 girls I grew up with, right? And then we have my mother there in the top right picture with Sonia. And yeah, man. All good memories, great times. And Sonia, you are missed, not just by me, but of course, well, I know you and Daddy must be up to something wherever you all are. And, you know, I guess I will see you when I see you, you know. All right, happy birthday, sis. So I tell you what, we are out for today, the 9th of June, until tomorrow, people. Greenwich will be here. Acting Sergeant Greenwich will be here for Behind the Badge and much more. So until then, have a great day. We are out.